Elon Musk is the new CEO of Twitter.com. Rejoice! Hallelujah. Okay, is he actually the CEO? No, he's not the CEO position at Twitter, but he is the controlling shareholder of the largest portion of stock and Twitter that is controlled by a single person or entity. Elon Musk announcing this morning that he controls approximately 10% of the world's most poisonous cesspool of leftist activism. Now, how is this happening, and why is the world's richest man engaging in a crusade to bring free speech back? This is perhaps the most important battle of our time. Let's get into it. Elon Musk was disgusted at Twitter's recent behavior banning the beloved site, the Babylon Bee. Elon Musk engages with the Babylon Bee, even did an interview with the Babylon Bee while sipping a White Claw. Check it out.
I just like to advertise for White Claw. Yeah. White Claw, real men drink White Claw.
Can we get our guys on the phone with White Claw?
Sponsor after the fact.
If you want us to leave that in, then you won't pay us. Well, this is the first White Claw ever drunk on the Babylon Bee podcast.
So Elon Musk asked his 80 million plus Twitter followers, free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? This was a poll that Elon Musk put out, and the results of that poll, not great for Twitter. 70% of people said no, it does not. 29, a paltry, pathetic 29% said it does. Simps. The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully, Elon Musk said. What people didn't realize at the time was that Elon Musk was fixing to buy Twitter, or at least the largest shareholder stake in Twitter. Given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles is fundamentally undermining democracy, Elon Musk said in a follow-up tweet. What should be done? Is a new platform needed? That got many people thinking that Twitter was going to have a competitor in something that Elon Musk props up, right? But there are other social media sites that function as Twitter bots, Getter, Truth Social. These things are sort of like Twitter-like. And so people were wondering, do we really need a new Twitter, a new ghettoized community of people that'll just be, the entire population that owns Dogecoin following Elon Musk around? Would that be really the solution? Now, Elon Musk could potentially buy all of Twitter because the market cap for Twitter is $31 billion. The net worth of Elon Musk is many, many billions more than that. So Elon Musk could hypothetically just buy all of Twitter. Elon Musk ended up spending $3 billion on 10% of the company. And so that makes Musk the, of course, again, number one controlling shareholder on Twitter. Now, this move is brilliant because Elon Musk has been furious, along with many of us, Joe Rogan included, at the recent petulant, childlike rages that Twitter throws in its banning of people for stating biological facts, that men are men and women are women. Twitter ends up banning people like Charlie Kirk, the Babylon Bee, and Tucker Carlson for stating that. They've banned Marjorie Taylor Greene, a sitting member of Congress. Of course, they erased Donald Trump, were the first corporate social media outlet to erase Donald Trump from the internet. Donald Trump had approximately the same number of followers as Elon Musk had at the time of his erasure from the public town square. So this is a huge issue. The inability to speak, as covered by Tucker Carlson in a recent segment on his show. The new CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, stepped away this year and has handed the reins to a new, incredibly woke and poisonous, sad, petulant little man, little trollish, kind of like weird looking dude. This guy was caught on tape saying, it's not about if you can speak, it's about who can be heard. Wow, what an Orwellian load of hot horse from this douchebag. Listen.
But on Twitter, as in our public life, truth is no defense. Twitter is now run by a man called Parag Agrawal, who has said plainly he does not believe in free speech. Agrawal came to this country as an adult to get a degree from Stanford. Now Agrawal controls the single most important forum for America's political conversation. That is a big and important job. It's not just a public company, it's much more than that. It's a kind of public trust that allows this democracy to function. So you would think you'd want a guy like that, in a position like that, to have some respect for his adopted country's core institutions, beginning with and primarily the First Amendment. But Agrawal has no respect for our First Amendment or our Constitution. He explained that openly in a 2020 speech. Watch.
Our role is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation. And our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation. The kinds of things that we do to work about this is to focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed. One of the changes today that we see is speech is easy on the internet. Most people can speak. Where our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard.
So when you have a company that is being run by the woke and has been taken over like a pirate ship, in a mysterious tweet from this weekend, Jack Dorsey seems to have regretted stepping away as CEO, and the corporate nature that Twitter took. Jack Dorsey essentially tweeted that the early days of the uncensored, unvarnished, unrestricted internet were incredible and amazing, he said. Centralizing discovery and identity into corporations really damaged the internet. I realize I'm partially to blame and regret it. Well, that's cryptic. What does that mean? Did he know that his buddy and his friend Elon Musk was going to be buying the controlling interest in Twitter? Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk know each other. They're friends, according to Bloomberg. Did Jack Dorsey know that this move was happening? Assuredly, he did. Jack Dorsey owns 2.2% of Twitter. Elon Musk now owns 4 times that number. Together, and again, they are friends. Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey have worked together on projects before. Together, they own 12% of the company. That is monstrous. What could they do with it? If Jack Dorsey does regret the corporate woke direction that Twitter took, well, could he be staging a pirate ship battle to change the direction of the company? Well, what we note is that Twitter has a public board. Elon Musk will certainly be seated on that board of directors. Elon Musk can then influence the leadership of the company that has to answer to that board, who is chosen by that board with the board's approval. They serve, and they cease to serve, actually, if the board decides to axe the CEO of Twitter, right? The CEO of Twitter would have to run policies or things that would affect the stock price of this publicly traded company by the Twitter board of directors. Elon Musk sitting on that board could really have a huge impact. It's got to be having this dude shit his pants when he woke up this morning to find out the news that the man who is going to be now in charge of him is a free speech absolutist who has been openly aggressive against his decisions to turn all of Twitter into essentially a woke gender studies program for lesbian underwater basket weaving at Oberlin College. So what could happen is that Elon Musk, through not just his place on the Twitter board and as the #1 shareholder in the company, but also as somebody who owns obviously an enormous amount of capital on the stock market, these board seats are essentially seats for hedge funds and corporate representatives who have bought into Twitter. They get a board seat for buying a certain percentage of Twitter. All Elon Musk has to do is muscle in and state that, hey, listen, I control an enormous amount of the direction of the finances on all of these fronts, and free speech absolutism is a good business decision. That's the argument Elon Musk has to make to the board, and he will be told, yes, sir. Dogecoin, sir. Yes, sir. Give us Dogecoin. So to the moon, ladies and gentlemen, what will happen? Well, we go over to Revolver News, our friends at Revolver News, who looked into this story and actually predicted it. 3 days ago, they published an article that says the battle of the century. Here's what happens if Elon Musk buys Twitter. The article says that the most exciting possibility would be Elon Musk to buy Twitter. He would be restoring free speech in the land of the free, and it would only cost him a teeny fraction of his own net worth. In practice, however, Revolver writes, it would not be that easy. In fact, one would be hard-pressed to imagine a project more dangerous and difficult than restoring free speech to a major tech platform like Twitter. At the same time, it's hard to imagine a more worthwhile project. Restoring genuine free speech would do more for patriotic Americans than the GOP taking back the White House in 2024. Arguable. And it would pose a greater threat to the ruling regime than anything Russia, China, or Iran may plausibly do. That's right. Free speech online is what enabled the Trump revolution of 2016. If the internet had been free in the 2020 election, as it was for the years before, Trump would have cruised to re-election. I think this is talking about the Hunter Biden story that was, of course, banned by Twitter right away. We now know, of course, that story to be empirically and demonstrably true. Massive censorship and suppression are the tools needed to prop up the tyranny, the Ukraine war fever, and the idea that Leah Thomas is a woman. America's decrepit and illegitimate ruling class intuitively understand this. Absolute freedom of speech or even the freedom of speech norms that prevailed a mere decade ago would instantly cause the American regime as we know it to crumble. In short, transitioning Twitter back to a real free speech platform would represent nothing less than a declaration of war against the globalist American empire. The article goes on to predict that blue checks will scream with rage as free speech is restored, that Elon Musk's move to bring back the Babylon Bee, Charlie Kirk, MTG, ALX, Donald Trump, that this would cause a panic attack in what has essentially become a liberal arts professor lounge room on Twitter. It's a poisonous platform. Ladies and gentlemen, this could all happen because of a brave billionaire who has become, perhaps, the crusader to save free speech in our time. What will Elon Musk do? Well, we've already seen the massive shakeup at hand. We've already seen the preening and freaking and screeching of those users on Twitter who hate what may be coming. What may be coming is a return to the platform of your favorite president. We don't know exactly what Elon Musk has in store, but we believe that something good may be at hand in one of the most poisonous and sickening media platforms and social media communities on the internet, and we applaud it. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we would never give them a shout out, but now that Elon is the new CEO, de facto CEO, here's our handle, here's our account. We have 500,000 followers over there. We'd love to get some more. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think Elon Musk is about to do with Twitter? What do you think about this decision? Let us know in the comment section. We're excited about it. More free speech, more freedom always equals a better world. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you for watching. We are 100% independent news. Are you sick of being lied to? We certainly are. That's why we started this channel. But we can't do it without you. We can't keep going without your help. All we ask is that you click like and subscribe and share this video. It's free. And it keeps us going, it keeps us growing, it keeps us getting the truth out there to break the rotted corporate media infrastructure that wants to lie to you every single day, wants to corrupt your narratives, your truth, your story, and your very society. So support us by clicking like, clicking subscribe, and thank you, Patriots.